So I know you wanted to flip the table on me.
Yes.
Ask me some questions.
Yes.
Nothing's off the table.
Nothing's
All good.
off the table.
Nothing's off the table. Just like I asked you every question. No, you didn't tell me anything was off the table. You can ask me anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair game.
All right. Have you? Okay. What is the biggest thing you've learned from doing these shows?
The biggest thing I've learned from doing these shows.
Yeah. Interviewing so many people has given me a different point of view on the world.
Yep.
Has that been the same for you, or is your worldview pretty much the same?
Absolutely agree with you. That everybody deserves respect. I know we talked about that a lot. And one of probably the most poignant example of that was I interviewed a guy called Daryl Davis. Do you know who that is? He's the black musician that a lot of times plays in the South, and he befriends the KKK members, and over time convinces them to, not even convinces them, sparks something within them to leave the KKK, to the point where they will take off their cloak and hoodie and give it to him and say, I was totally wrong about you. Think about that. A black man sitting down in the South, still to today, convincing or sparking something within KKK members to say, you know what, I was totally wrong and I'm denouncing this. And as a symbol of trust and friendship, here's my hoodie. And what does Daryl Davis do is see if you can find an image of him. He keeps, I think it's hundreds at this point, of KKK outfits in his closet to signify this is what I've done. What's my point? I interview, whether it's this show, whether it's on PBD podcast, a wide array of people, just as you've done as well. And what I've realized is that these people have come to their determination and their opinions, and they have different ideological views based on something, whether that's right or wrong. There he is right there, okay? Daryl Davis, sitting there with the KKK guys. And the best thing you can do, and this is why I'll give you so much credit, is ask questions. Anytime that you say, this is how you should think, this is how you should operate, this is how you need to do, live your life, people aren't going to resonate that, and they're not going to listen to you. But if you say, okay, like for instance, I had a conversation with a full-on socialist, right? Young girl. She had no clue what she was talking about. I say, if you and Bill work at the same job, but he works half as hard as you, do you guys deserve the same pay? She's like, no, that doesn't seem fair. I go, no, well, you guys are, you deserve the same pay. And she had to wrestle with these minor questions in her head, and she had to come up to the conclusion, like, you know what? Maybe the harder you work and the better you do in a meritocracy, you should get paid more. And that's how you should get a raise. It goes, yeah, exactly. It's kind of capitalism right there. So she had to come up with this on her own. I couldn't be like, capitalism's the best, socialism's the worst, and that's my opinion. I had to pose questions for her to answer this. That's exactly what Daryl Davis did with these people. He's asked questions. Well, why do you think I'm dumber than you? Right? Well, why do you think this? What would you do if I did this? And people have to come to their own conclusion. So the biggest thing that I've come away with, to answer your question, is I respect everybody, whether I agree with them or disagree with them. But at the end of the day, I try to find the truth in the situation. Like you said, I don't shame women. I just look for the truth. So yeah, respect.
Has it influenced your dating life at all?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm way more upfront with women at this point. So as you know, guys out there, a lot of times guys will slow play it, especially with hot chicks. Sure, babe, whatever you want, no problem. All right, cool, I'll take care of this, I'll take care of this. And you slow play it, and you slow play it. There's actually a book that PBD gave me called 101 Questions to Ask Before You Get Engaged, okay? So I will hit women with questions right now. How many kids you want? When do you see yourself getting married? If I pay all the bills, what are you gonna do? Okay? All these types of questions is a vetting process. So it was a girl that I was seeing, this is a couple months ago, 30 years old. I go, oh, what age would you want to get married? She goes, I don't see myself getting married. I go, do you want to have kids? Nah, no kids. I said, you are officially now in the fun bucket. That doesn't mean I just broke up with her. I'll do my thing for a little bit. But if a girl is like, I'm 1,000,000% convinced that I want to have kids. whether I want to get married to the government, all that kind of stuff like that. Again, I did that in my early 30s, and that's 10 years later now. I'm convinced that I want to have kids, so I'm solving for that. So my biggest thing right now is who's going to be an amazing mother. Okay, so there was a girl that I was dating before that who was 34. Okay, and I said, listen, you know, another girl I was dating before was 24. I could take my time with a girl like that, right? At 34, it's like we're either doing this now or never. And she's like, well, I don't know, I was like, all right, great knowing you. So I think it's just being very intentional, knowing what you want, knowing who you want to be, and solving for that.
Would you guys ever date?
We're dating right now.
Wait, really?
What?
Wait,
I'm totally kidding. Nat is like my little sister.
really?
I love the girl to death.
I feel like everyone thinks you guys are dating.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, everyone always says that, but no, Adam plays his role in my life, but not.
To be
not
honest
for that.
with you, to be fully honest with you, Nat, how many different girls have you seen me out with?
Many.
Okay. Gentlemen, get yourself a wing woman.
I'm a great wing woman. I'm not gonna lie.
That is just down to be a team player.
Yeah.
Nat is actually, I've met the men in Nat's life as well.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. But when I go out, I actually go out with 2, 3, 4 girls.
Yeah.
Maybe a buddy or two. It's great to have women when you go out. I know you're not a big partier going out. You know, I was born in a club in South Beach. Like, it's in my blood, Pearl. Okay? You know how tradition and families, like, I'm trying to get that out of my blood and get into the family life, be more like you.
Yeah.
But no, Nat's a great wing woman.
Yeah. No.
What do you think of the girls you've met?
I mean, I don't really put too much thought into it. I think he's just doing his thing, you know, going through his process.
No, I mean, is there one that you've met that you could see him like marrying?
I mean, that's not really my place. I mean,
Stay in your lane, Nat. Stay in your lane, Nat.
I let him
You
do
said
his
anything.
thing. It's his process, his journey. He's also the same, like the question you asked, you know, these conversations, it changes the way you date.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you bring people around, it makes you question certain things. And that was even kind of how we were, like, asking, you know, like, how are you dating now with all these things? Like, immediately, I know when I first started in this space, I got to a point where I was like, oh my gosh, he's a simp. Like, he said this. And I'm like, wait, Natalia, like, you have to come to reality. You know, people are people. You know, get to know them. So sometimes I think it's important to just let people also go through their process. You know, he date who he dates. And I think him going through that as well, when he finds the woman, I think I will see a different side of Adam, too.
I was just curious if there was one that you liked a lot or something.
No, I don't really make that. I just let him kind of just, oh, hey, nice to see you.
Most of the girls she's seen me with, it's been like, I've seen them once or twice
Yeah.
or whatever.
Nothing like super.
Not that I'm like being like Playboy
you
International.
just mentioned kids, so I was like, I was just
No, I don't
curious.
really like talk to the girls like that. That's not my place. It's not for me to do that.
She gives them a hug, tells them they look pretty.
If you
and
need
then
anything,
just,
let me know. Like, I'm just go host. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
And what about? You said you met some of the guys in Nat's life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did you think of them?
I think Nat deserves a great man.
You guys seem like you'd be perfect together.
Yeah, Nat. What's up?
You said we have our place.
You said at work.
Nat has dated a friend of mine, so she's officially off limits, 100%. I don't, cross that line whatsoever. Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Ever.
Zero. But I will say that to men that come into Nat's life, I will say she's a good girl, treat her right, step the fuck up, or kick rocks. Because I think she deserves a good dude.
Thanks, Sauce.
So, there you go.
Aww.
I got her back. Now you gotta have the conversation with the girls I'm with. Adam's the man. You better fucking.
Well, when you make certain girls certain priorities, then that becomes more of like, hey, let me kind of pour into her as well, kind of mend that as well. But it's not gonna be something.
Pearl, let me ask you.
Okay,
let me ask you one thing.
You've been asking me all show. You've been asking me all show.
I want to get your advice on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
42, single, successful, millionaire. What should I be looking for in the dating scene out there?
A 22-year-old homeschooled virgin.
Really?
There you go.
What about 22, not a virgin, but willing to be trained?
I mean, in this market.
That's a good one.
Take what you can get.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, Yeah, 22 willing to be trained. That's a good start.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
we'll
agree.
date.
I agree with that. Okay, you got a couple more questions. Go
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Nothing's
Have
off
you
the table.
ever hated someone that's been on the show?
Have you ever hated somebody that's been on the show? No.
Have you ever?
No,
have you
Adam's
Zero.
not like that. He's not.
Zero.
Like, people can say stuff
about
about
you?
Adam. Yeah, I've had my opinion on some people, for sure.
Yeah.
But Adam's the type to not have like like, you can hate Adam and he's cool with you. He's not like I'm trying to get you. Like, he's just a people guy.
Yeah.
Me, I can sometimes, like, my emotions get in the way. I may not like the way you treat me. And sometimes that you get a reaction out of me because of that. But at the end of the day, Adam's not that. I'll give him that. Adam is one guy that's like, I don't have a problem with anybody.
Even the
I'm like,
guys that allegedly have a problem with me.
yeah, Adam does not pay
Zero
nothing.
beef with them.
Nothing.
And you know some of these guys.
Yeah.
Zero beef whatsoever. I'm not even going to be like, well, you know, there's one guy. Zero. Now, if they have a problem with me, hey, bro, it's all good. When I tell you genuinely, and there's been some dust-ups over here, zero issues with these guys. I get it. What I will say is this. It is, you know, a lot of criticism I get is like, if a girl on the panel pushes back at the men, it's like, Adam, you got to defend the men. It's like, well, do you defend all the women?
Yeah.
You don't defend. All right, it's like it's not my job to defend a grown-ass man from something they've said. But at the same time, if I disagree with someone, I'll say, I don't know about that, bro. But when I tell you, I don't know if there's someone you have in mind. I don't care. But zero beef. There's no one I'm like, oh, that one motherfucker. Zero.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I operate. Now, if someone completely does me dirty, that might change. But if it's little, you know, these social media dust-up YouTube, you know, type of situation. Zero beef whatsoever. And I've had my little, you know, points of friction, zero drama. How about you? Is there anyone that you hate or have major drama with?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh
Give us
yeah.
top
Name
three.
names,
Top
Pearl.
3.
That I've hated from my show.
Yeah.
Anyone that's watched my show for a while, Esther. Oh, this chick
Okay.
showed up in my apartment in the middle of the night. It was crazy.
What?
Right.
Yeah. Anyone that's like actually followed it. It's
What
like
about
this,
content creators?
not really. I'm sure there's been people that have rubbed me the wrong way, but no one that like I can really think of that
Anyone
I
that
strongly...
you respected and you've lost respect for, let's say?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, so we're on the same page. Other than
Yeah.
Esther, we're getting along with people.
No, and there's this other there's a couple girls that I banned.
Okay.
I'm like
Any men?
And not that was super bad, but like most of the storm outs or like the extreme disrespect has been from chicks. I've kicked a couple guys out. Like they kind of get annoying if they just don't answer. Like they come in, they won't answer any questions. It's just like, all right, get.
Yeah. No,
It's like, what are you here for?
I've only kicked one person out, this trans woman named Vincenza. I had to kick her out. But other than that, if someone sits here and they're quiet, I'm more the type of person to just keep leaning on him and clowning him. I'm like, oh, bro, you're killing it today, buddy. All right, great job. Like to a girl, oh, great insight, like that.
Yeah.
I'm not the one to be like, get the fuck out. You know, so that's some of the criticism that I take is that I'm too nice to certain people. But genuinely by nature, I'm not that dude that's like, fuck you, bitch. I don't like, I'm just like,
No.
you're an idiot. Good luck in life, man. Have a great day. Like, I'm not there to like dunk on women, but at the same time, I will call them out for their delusion tendencies.
Well, I get the same thing where they don't feel like I control the panel well enough, but it's really hard. It's
hard.
And especially like, I think as a chick, it's not as much in our like nature to do that. So it's like, I'm so tired of panels, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just getting started, Pearl.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why are you tired of it?
It's more, I don't know. I really want to do more documentary stuff and have more time for that than panels. So
What kind of documentaries?
I want to finish my divorce documentary. I feel like I've had so much stuff. It's kind of been put on like the back end. I want to do a documentary into the school system too, like just kind of like deep dives into some of these institutions that I would argue discriminate against men. That's what I want to do.
Nice. All right, we got 5 more minutes. What other questions you got?
All right, so where do you like want this show to go? Like, what's your like end goal?
Great question. So, you know, I say that this is Valuetainment. So we have certain standards here. You know, we're not some fledgling little random YouTube company with no framework or vision or purpose. We're here to valuetain. We need to provide value. and we also want to entertain people. So when I started the basic premise of my show, before SOSCAST, it was called Sauce Talks Money. It was all money for 5 years. And then PBD sat me down one day. He's like, again, you have to evolve. You have to reinvent yourself. He's like, you're good with money, but you're not the greatest. Okay? What else can you infuse? All right? And Pat basically was like, you're an awesome networker. You've owned bars in South Beach. You've been around celebrities. You've been at the Kardashians and NBA players and rappers. Like, all these people. You know nightlife. You know women. You have friends with women. Like, why don't you infuse that with your show? You know what I said? Nah, I'm good. And a year later, finally I decided to do it. And obviously it kind of hit right as the red pill kind of went mainstream and all that. So what I've realized is, I remember the first time Rolo came on, right? Your buddy. And I respect Rolo only because he was very open with me. And meaning he was like, hey man, nice to meet you. Let me introduce you to some friends, right? He introduced me to Fresh and Fit, and Michael Sartain and Justin Waller. And for that, I'm grateful. Like the introductions, in order to introduce someone to your network, there's a certain level of trust right there. And that's not saying that me and Rolo haven't had issues in the past, but I will always gravitate towards, I respect that man, okay? So he came on, I remember the first time I asked him, I go, what's red pill? This is in early 2022, keep in mind, right? You're talking to somebody that's been in the dating scene, South Beach lifestyle, men, women for 20 years. So once I kind of oh, cool, intersexual dynamics, men, women, different, cool. I've realized, all right, when I show up to the club with 4 of my buddies, we don't get in. When I show up with 4 of these girls, I get a free table. Got it. All right, bingo, bango, got it. So I started asking these questions, and it just seemed very natural to me. So I wouldn't say that I am part of the red pill.
Yeah.
I would say how Michael Sartani's red pill adjacent. I would say I respect what they got going on. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to gravitate towards money, business, networking, what valuetainment is. So I probably will do a little bit more money content, like having conversations with women about money. All right, so you do OnlyFans. The natural thing is that, no dude's ever going to marry you. You high body count, bitch.
Yeah.
I might be like, so what do you do with the money? Oh, you only have $5,000 saved up, but you said you've made $200,000. What are you doing with your life? Right? Because it's a lot easier to nitpick tangible stuff rather than you dirty asshole, nobody's going to marry you. So I get that content. I've done it. I've seen it. Awesome. But I do want to do kind of more how you want to do more documentaries and movies. Kind of want to understand that a little bit more. But I do like this. You must admit, there's something cool about the men, women, dating, nature, all that kind of stuff like that. It's interesting. It's appealing. But I would say for me, I'm going to gravitate a little bit more towards that moving forward. How many times can you talk about body count?
At least 100 different.
Yeah, 100 different times, but after that. Cool.
And do you think you'll, because recently Jedediah's not with you guys anymore, right? So what, are you guys going to have more people here, or is it just going to be you guys have 2 shows now? What's your plan?
No, we actually have, I think, 5 shows these days, 5 or 6 different talents, and we're growing. I think we just had an open house here at Valuetainment. We hired how many people showed up to the open call
Oh, we had
casting?
over 50 people show up, and it was live interview. We hired a whole bunch of people.
No, bro, you've been at both buildings.
We're growing.
You've seen this building, pretty nice facility here, right? You've been at the other one, the first show you did.
No, it's super nice.
Super nice.
Yeah.
PBD, respect to him. He's in the process of literally looking for a campus right now.
Wow.
So the goal of Valuetainment is to have 1,000 employees, right?
Yeah.
So I can look at it and be like, I was employee number 4, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. I think now we're at maybe 90.
Yeah. Almost 90.
So
wow.
we're growing. We have a vision. We're here to empower future leaders and valuetain the audience out there. So we have a deep vision.
Yep.
Maybe one day Pearl's doing a documentary with Valuetainment. You never know.
Oh.
Yeah. You never know.
The future looks bright. So they're saying that we got to wrap up now.
Yeah.
You want to ask 1 or 2 more questions? And I have one more last question for you.
chats.
No, I'm okay.
You
Go
have a
ahead.
better understanding of me?
Yeah.
How about
think
this?
we're-
How
I
many-
think
how many-
I do feel like you guys would be a cute couple. I
Okay,
will
you're
say
really
that.
pushing this agenda right
I
now.
know.
Yeah.
You're really doubling down on that.
Yeah.
But thank you. There's some certain men out there that are maybe in Nat's life that are probably be a little offended right now.
Sorry, fellas.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about me? You're like, I don't think people know you that much. I don't think that. What's like the one thing you're like, bro, any questions on the table? You can ask me anything. Offend me. I don't care. What do you really want to know?
The biggest misconception about you?
I don't know. Whatever question you want to ask. I'm actually having fun with this.
I don't know. Can you say that question in a different way?
Anything else you really want to ask me, but maybe you're holding back on asking?
I literally can't think of anything.
All right.
Sorry.
I put it out there. Let the
Yeah.
record show. Whoa. If you like that one, click right here to watch the full SOSCAST. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.